Hi, it's Saturday the 31st of January 2015. My name's Andy Rowe and this is trendfollower.co.uk, and what I'm going to do in this brief video is go through some of the key indices that I like to look at each week and just see how the markets are doing. I'm going to start with the French index, the CAC 40, the CAC 40, which this week went down very slightly. Obviously last week went up a lot when the quantitative easing announcement was made, but it fell back very slightly this week, but no major change really. Similarly, the DAX, slight change, went up slightly actually, but yeah, bigger move the week before. So yeah, things looking positive for Europe there, which is not the case for the US because the DJI, Dow Jones Industrial Average, came down quite a bit this week, so dropped down through the MA20, still above the MA50, so still above the average for the year, but quite a big fall for the top 30 US companies. In the UK, things had done nicely last week, but this week fell back slightly, a bit like the French markets, but overall it looks to me like the FTSE 100 is sort of range bound, not really doing anything very much. The FTSE 250, again last week had gone up a lot, this week fell back slightly, but again above the average for the year. I had been thinking it was going to fall down, but it hasn't been, so I'm wrong there. The 350 very much mirrors the 100, again quite range bound, fell down slightly this week, but a big move up the week before. The Nasdaq, the tech stocks in the US came down quite a bit this week. Still, looking pretty healthy overall, but quite a big fall for the Nasdaq. The Japanese stocks, the Nikkei 225, went up this week, but they haven't done quite as well as perhaps one might have thought with the amount of money printing that's going on in Japan. The PIMCO bond fund, however, did very well this last week. Big jump up. So I guess this is partly in response to the US stocks falling. So maybe money is moving out of US stocks and into bonds for sort of safekeeping. This is the PowerShares DB 3 times inverse Japanese government bond futures exchange traded note, which would do well if people were worried that the Japanese government was not able to repay its bondholders. This week it did go up quite nicely, so I'm interested to watch this, so perhaps gives a little bit of feel about how nervous investors might be about getting their money back from Japanese bonds. And Japan is one of the most indebted nations in the world, it seems, but everyone else isn't very far behind, so if things go pear-shaped for Japan, who knows who will follow. So this is kind of interesting to watch, and when it starts to go up like this, it's tempting for me to think I might buy a bit, but I haven't done yet. S&P 500, so the 500 biggest US stocks, fell down a bit this week. Still overall looking good, but quite a big move down. The Aussie index moved up. The Gold Trust didn't do very much, GLD, so this is the American Exchange Traded Fund, which basically tracks the price of gold. It had gone up above the MA50 the week before. This week fell down below but rose up again, so it's above the moving average for the year, so to me I'd say it's a buy, but time will tell. TR Property, so this is a UK property trust that has property in the UK and also has European property, and this did spectacularly well the previous week when quantitative easing was announced in Europe, but this week has fallen back a little bit. The United States Oil Fund has done positively this week. It was falling down but then rose up quite a bit, and you can see that this white candle, which is a positive candle, is a price rise compared to the week before, which is nice because I bought a little bit of USO this week, so but I did buy some up here as well, so it needs to go up quite a lot before I'm quids in, so we'll see. The Vanguard Total Bond Market ETF did very well this week, again like the PIMCO bond fund. Maybe money is flowing out of stocks and into bonds, I don't know. So there we go, there's the key indices. So it looks like things over on continental Europe are quite positive. things in the US don't seem to be quite so positive this week in terms of stocks, but they do seem to be certainly more positive in terms of bonds. So I guess the message is, that bonds are looking positive, but US stocks may not be, but continental Europe stocks might be looking positive. Gold is just sort of creeping into what looks like positive territory. So maybe that's another place for me to think about. And oil, maybe it's hit the bottom and is about to start to come up again. I hope so, but it's one of those things that one can only know with the benefit of hindsight, so we shall see. So there we go, those are the key indices on Saturday the 31st of January 2015. Hope you found that helpful, and what I'm going to do in my next video is go through my open positions and just see how they're doing. So flip over onto the other video if you get a chance and see how they've got on. Catch up with you next week. Bye.